What's up, dudes and dudettes? Welcome to Everybody Podcast. This is a little segment we like to call Everybody's TUF, where we take a look at the Ultimate Fighter, UFC's take on a reality TV show. This week, we're looking at episode 5 of season 29. We have a bantamweight fight between Ricky, is it Tercios?
Tercios? Like Tercios or Tercios?
And Dan Argueta, is that his name? And
Argueta.
I gotta say, what a fantastic fight.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Great back and forth. Went 3 rounds. They had to go that extra round because it was so goddamn good.
Dan won the first round, and Ricky won the second. And then, again, obviously, Ricky won the third and won the whole fight at the end.
Yeah, Ricky won the whole fight. They got another win on Ortega's team, which is pretty cool.
Volkanovski, you mean?
Volkanovski. My bad. Excuse me. We got some silly antics in this one. We had Brian Ortega take the wheels off Volkanovski's vehicle. And
I feel like they did that same thing in a different season of The Ultimate Fighter. I don't think that's the first time that they've done that.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
man, taking shit from an old one.
I can't quite remember. I might be just making this up, but I feel like they've already done that before. It was still like Volkanovski didn't even give a shit. He was just like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah, you know what? That dude is, like, you can't piss off that guy. You just can't make that guy mad.
I don't know. He was pretty mad at that one episode where they were talking shit to each other.
Yeah, he was pretty mad about that. But you think he would be even more mad about having his fucking wheels taken off his car?
Well, let's be honest. He's from Australia. That wasn't his car. That was a rental.
Right.
That was a rental.
He could fucking care less. But he even laughed about it. And then they brought fucking jackasses out for them to ride on.
Yeah.
They even put a goddamn jersey on the fucking thing.
Yeah, the little donkey. He's like, that was yours. That's your ride now.
All Volkanovski said was just like, that was a pretty good prank. That was a pretty good prank.
I kind of hope he loads something up for the next episode.
Yeah,
right?
Like,
I hope he has some sort of comeback, yeah.
And I hope it's better than that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That'd be a lot cooler. We didn't really get much in this episode, same as all the others.
Yeah,
we got the silly
fight
antics.
Was too long too.
The fight, yeah, yep. All 3 rounds, like I said. It was a fantastic fight. It was on the feet. It was on the ground. We've seen clinches. Argueta even tried to get in was it the first round? There was a fantastic guillotine attempt where he kind of rolled him up a little bit.
Yeah, but it was at the very end, right? Like at the end of the
round,
maybe?
There was 2 guillotine attempts that Argueta tried to get. Because there was the one where they were standing, and then he kind of rolled into him, and he had him in a guillotine. And then there was the one at the end where they were already on the ground.
Yeah.
And they tried to get him in a guillotine then. But Ricky was he had a better he was like a more veteran type of guy at it. He had like
he seemed more well-rounded.
He was like 13-3 or 12-3 or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't write down what their records were. I think Dan was only 5-0. It was only his 6th professional fight, even though it's not even necessarily considered a professional fight.
And Ricky was on the Contender Series in 2017.
Yeah.
And I seen Dana White mention, we've been looking at him for a while and thought we'd bring him on the show and see how he did. And the dude's definitely a scrapper.
Yeah, the fight on the Contender Series was a fucking war. It was a fucking hell of a fight.
Yeah, yep. And the fight on this episode of TUF here, we can see that he can stand on the ground or do grappling on the ground just as well as he could stand up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is definitely what you're going to need, man, especially if you're coming in the UFC. Nowadays, you can't just pick one style and think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, because there's so many guys out there that'll do both. That'll be not even both. Just do everything. You know, they know boxing, they know Muay Thai, they know fucking jiu-jitsu and wrestling. You know, they can do it all. So if you have one, there are people like Khabib who has that one style that he sticks to. But if you're gonna just have that one style, you're gonna have that one martial art. You gotta really perfect it. You know, if you want to be successful in this sport now.
That's definitely what Khabib did because he did that shit. He wrestled and grappled in almost every single fight he's ever had.
Yeah.
And that's how he fucking won. Undefeated. It worked. It worked for him. He was a champion.
Yeah, you got to be top of the line, though. You You got to really, really hammer down that one specialty if that's the route that you're going to go. But, I mean, somebody like Ricky, though, that Tercios, he's very well-rounded. He seemed like he was doing really well on the feet and on the ground, you know. It was a great grappling match.
Yeah,
you know,
it really
when it was
was.
on the ground, it was back and forth. You know, 1 second Dan's on top. I think Dan got a takedown, but right away Ricky reversed it and was on top.
Yep.
And I think that was in the third round. And in the first round, Dan was pretty dominant through the whole on the ground, you know, for the first round. But yeah, it was a good back and forth.
And they definitely knew right away after that second round that, like, both of them knew right away that they were going to be going into a third.
So did the ref. The ref kept telling them, keep those gloves on.
Keep your gloves on.
Don't take the gloves off. There could be a third round.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew it. And the ref even said at the end of the fight, I just want to tell you both, that was a good fight.
It was. It was a fun fight to watch.
You could tell Dana White was happy about it because the camera never pans to him and shows him clapping for the fight, but this time it totally did.
Yeah, I gotta say though that as great as he did, that Dan Argueta, you really gotta question if he's prepared to be the top of the line fighter because he said at the right before the fight, he said, "I hate fighting. Like I get so scared, I don't like it." And it's like I don't know if you don't like it, it's going to be real tough for you to compete with those guys at the top of the food chain, you know?
Yeah.
Like those guys that really want to be there and that really love what they're doing.
One of the things that I noticed, and Ortega said it on the show, is when Dan goes in, he stays in. He doesn't go in, hit a couple times, and back out and circle. He goes in and he stays in. That leaves him open for counter strikes.
He's a scrapper. He's a real, like he said at the beginning, he said, Ricky is a better martial artist than me, but I'm a better fighter than he is. You know, he's a real dirty, not like in a bad way, but a real dirty fighter, you know?
Yeah.
He's
like
he
he'll
wants
go
to
in
get
there
and down to it.
He'll go in there and take the shots if he has to, but he's going to land some of those shots himself.
Yeah, I wrote a couple more quotes down from this episode. One from each of them. One from Ricky that I thought was just funny to hear. He just goes, right before the fight, he goes, pump, 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 martial arts. I watched it like twice. I was like, it made me laugh. It was funny. And then after the fight, Dan Argueta looks at Ricky and he said, that was crazy. Why did we do that?
Yeah. Yeah. They both had a lot of respect for each other, and they definitely showed that after the fight.
Absolutely.
I like seeing that type of stuff between fighters.
Yeah, I'd almost prefer that over two fighters who absolutely fucking hate each other.
Yeah, because like you're both going in there and you're knocking each other's heads around. Like after that fight, you both survived. Like why not show some respect? Or in general, man, after the fight between anybody, they should show respect because fighting is hard.
Yeah,
and it takes a lot
they're putting their lives on the line.
Yeah, it takes a lot of guts and courage to go in there and fight.
Yeah.
So you should respect that person across from you. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. But other than that, it was really a pretty uneventful episode.
It really was.
Like nothing.
It really was.
Nothing really happened. I did know, notice though, at the end they picked the next two fighters, and it was another bantamweight fight.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. Doesn't it? Seems
like I thought it would alternate.
I mean, it has so far, right? Have I not noticed that they haven't alternated, but it has been alternating, hasn't it? Hasn't it been middleweight?
Now that I'm on the spot thinking about it, I don't really know.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the fights, but now I'm like, who was the middleweights and who was the bantamweights? You know? But yeah, well, even what was the last? Yeah, last one was Brian Battle and Kemron.
That was a bantamweight.
That was middleweight.
Oh yeah, that was middleweight.
Remember, Battle used to be a heavyweight.
Yeah, and before that was Murdoch and
and that was a bantamweight.
That was bantamweight. And then before that, it was Newman, and so it has been alternating.
Yeah, it's been alternating, but for some reason now the next one's going to be another bantamweight, and I'm looking forward to the next one. They were both talked about very highly by pretty much everybody.
Yeah,
you know, when the fight was called out, and it's probably going to be a real back and forth because they're teammates before, like outside of the house.
Yeah, so they know each other's kind of like style and what's going to happen going into the fight. They know what to expect more.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that can make a really great fight because they each know what the other one's got to throw. So it's going to be, I think it'll be a good war.
And they might have the same style going in too. Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. And I wonder, they're going to have to do, I guess we should probably look into who's left. I can't even think of who's left.
Yeah,
now.
I can't really think of who's left. Everything seems to be going so fast because we're getting a fight every episode. So it's like, fuck.
But I wonder if they're going to do... Now they're doing 2 bantamweights. I wonder if there's 2 middleweights left that they have to take care of now.
Yeah. I mean, they should, right?
I think so.
They should have to. You got to keep that shit even, right?
Yeah, and they haven't done a great job of introducing everybody to us, so I can't even think of who hasn't fought yet. I know there's at least one more guy with a mullet that needs to fight.
Yep.
And then there's that dude with the red goatee thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name is, but the one who wouldn't tell Trey Sean anything about Ryder Newman.
Yep.
He hasn't fought yet.
We get that introduction in the fighters' names in the very beginning, but
then you don't see them for the entire episode.
Yeah, so it's like, it's very easy to forget. It's very easy to forget. But, like, I would rate this episode. I'm going to give this episode... I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4 because the fight was excellent. Went all 3 rounds. Volkanovski got another win on his team. And I guess, pulling the tires off the car was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I like the way Volkanovski didn't really seem bothered by it. I think he kept his composure.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 because, I mean, it was a great fight. It's pretty much all for the fight. It's all my points are going for such a good fight. But outside of that, there's just not a lot happened.
Yeah, so
not a lot going on.
Can't really give it. I can't really give any of these a 5 yet because there's nothing really going on unless we get like a nice bloody fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, this episode 5 here, Ricky and Dan, they put on a fantastic fucking show.
Yep. And looking forward to the next fight.
Hell yeah, looking forward to that next fight. This has been Everybody's Tough. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.